Calling the Lakeville Park Commission meeting to order on Monday, June 29th, 2020 at 6:38. In accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law relating to the 2020 novel corona outbreak emergency, the June 29, 2020 public meeting of the Lakeville Park Commission shall be physically closed to the public to avoid group congregation. However, to view this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCam. You do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at lakecam.tv. As a preliminary matter, this is Mike Nolan, Commissioner of the Lakeville Park Commission. Permit me to confirm that all members, staff, and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Please respond in the affirmative. Joe Kosha.
Here.
Okay. Paula Houle.
Here.
Jesse Medford.
Here.
Scott Holmes is not here yet. Nellie Woodburn.
Here.
Okay. Anybody else on the agenda, Nellie?
No.
No anticipated speakers. Okay.
No.
Good evening. This open meeting of the Lakeville Park Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020. Due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth, due to the outbreak of COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will not feature public comment. For this meeting, the Lakeville Park Commission is convening via video conference via Zoom as posted on the town's website. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available at the town's, available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We're now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to further any comment, questions, or motion. Please hold until your name is called. Okay, we have no speakers, so we're good there. Let's see. For any response, please wait for the chair until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in colloquy with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. The end. Okay. First item on the agenda is to welcome our new commissioner, Paula Houle. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll have a good time helping us out. This is a great commission. We do a lot of work, as you probably already know. You've met with us already once, so welcome. The second item on the agenda is reorganization of the commission roles. We can't do that because we don't have our chairman here today. So anyone want to make a motion that we table that till our next meeting?
I motion we table it.
Second?
I'll second it.
Oh,
You second, Jesse? Okay.
Yep.
Any discussion? Hearing none. We'll do a roll call vote. Joe Kosha?
Yes. Aye.
Aye. Jesse Medford?
Aye.
Paula Hool?
aye.
Okay, and I'm an aye, so that is tabled to our next meeting. Okay, any correspondence? Nellie?
Hold on. Let me get correspondence. Oh, yes. My first piece of correspondence is we received a registration cancellation receipt, a brown trailer. Does that sound familiar, Mike? Anybody?
There I am, sorry. Is this a piece of equipment from
I
the,
don't know. So it's just saying the registration cancellation receipt, and it does just say body style is a trailer, and it's colored brown.
ringing any bells with anybody?
The model year is an 87.
The only trailer that I've ever seen over there is an old trailer. It's kind of buried in the woods back by the new fields there. But I don't think that's been used in many years. Maybe it was still registered.
Let's see. It says the registration expired in 99.
So why are they canceling it? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, where's that correspondence come from?
It got mailed directly to us from the RMV.
Okay,
So I didn't know if anything occurred with like highway where they've canceled something because we were no longer using it or anything. No.
no. I'll ask Franklin if he has any idea though.
Okay. I'll put that
Trailer,
aside.
1987 trailer, canceled in 1999. Okay. Like I said, the only trailer I've seen over there that belongs to us is is one that's out in the woods. Has no wheels on it and it has to be removed at some point. Anyway, any more correspondence?
That's really it, other than a couple of things to do with sports. So I was just going to save that for the sports section.
Yeah, or new business or something. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, any new business for the commission? No?
Well, you had the other thing from Doug, right? That's new business?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh,
That's what she was
that's right.
talking about. Yep. Did everybody get a chance to read this from Mass Effect Sports Academy proposal?
Yes.
Yep, I read it.
Hang on a second, I'm being texted here. Doug did contact me regarding this, where we weren't going to be opening up Clear Pond. He runs this arena football club, and he was looking to do something to help and put his football players to work on a voluntary basis. I believe it was voluntary, although I think here says something about fees. So the way he was originally talked to me about was that he was just looking to get the kids out on the fields and do some social distancing safe activities. As you know, Doug was the physical education teacher at Assawamsa for many, many years. So that's all I knew about, and then I saw this today, so.
The only question I have on this, Mike, I mean, it sounds real nice, without a doubt. Seeing there's only 8 weeks left to the summer, can you really pull this off?
Well,
If no one knows
Yeah,
about it yet.
yeah, I think he's looking just to do like an informal type thing. I don't believe it's going to take any work from us other than just letting him use some field space.
No, I hear you, yeah, but I'm just saying, for him to get people to show up to this, no one knows about it today. You know, like I said, summer's only 8 weeks more, right, till the end of August, so you figure, I don't know if you can pull it off. I think it's a great idea, without a doubt.
Mm.
I just didn't know how quickly he could get it going, let people know about it.
He might have a wide enough net where he might be able to generate some interest pretty quickly. Nobody's really doing much right now, so you know that's an option for them to get out there and do the activities that he promotes. He listed a few activities in there that he said he used to do at Clear Pond, and he would just do some of those here. And you know,
But would we have to we'd have to know who those people are, those players, to get them Corey checked the whole 9 yards, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you can do it great, but it just seems that a lot of stuff has to happen quickly if it's going to make it effective. So.
Paula, did you get this in your email today?
Not that I noticed, no.
Okay.
Unless, but from what you're saying, it sounds like this gentleman who wants these football players to do whatever has something already lined up.
Yeah.
So if he's got it lined up.
Yeah. Can since I just read all that opening, can one of you guys or Nellie read this so that that Paula knows what he's proposing here? Do you mind?
Want to read it out, Nellie? Nellie, you want me to read it or?
I can do it. That's fine. All right, hold on. Let me just pull it up here. Here we go. So, June 25th, 2020, proposal to the Lakeville Commission for use of the outdoor areas to enhance youth sports and recreation. Scott Holmes, Chairman, and members. My personal background and professional experience relating to this proposal. Retired certified health and physical education teacher, Lakeville Schools, master's professional in recreation, CPR and first responder certificate with Massachusetts certificate in concussion protocols, director of Parks and Recreation, and selectman appointed rejuvenation of the former Ted Williams camp for over 30 years. Serve Safe certified food service. The Mass Effect proposal has come out of the events leading to the closure of many town recreation avenues that have been canceled and limited. I understand we have to follow all state guidelines and adhere to all policies of the park department. As the owner of the Mass Effect Area Football and Sports Academy, a nonprofit organization established in September of 2019, we wish to utilize the former Ted Williams camp and its outdoor areas to bring a variety of sports instruction for all levels of ability mixed with supervised play time, as well as continuing to bring some of the popular events from Clear Pond's Fun in the Sun program, such as carnival, arts and crafts, music in the parks, etc., to the public. If approved, we would like to tentatively, based on interest, schedule Monday through Friday mornings and do not require a structured field, just a small open space. We can go around any limitations or patrons as determined by the park department. The Mass Effect, Inc. will be responsible for the budget, instruction, and fees. We will establish a working donation agreement with the parks and follow any directive. Thank you, from Douglas Berry.
I heard that, and I just brought it up in my email. Thank you, Nellie.
No problem.
Can everybody hear me?
yes.
Okay. Since he's covered everything, do we object to this in any way, as long as he gets them COVID tested?
No, Mike, you're muted.
Get them COVID tested.
Oh, I just meant
The
Corey
social
check.
distance.
You meant Corey checked, right?
Yeah, Corey. Yeah.
Corey check is a check, Paula, that anybody that works with any children in the town needs to get. You're familiar with it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I assume he's already been Corey checked, because this is somebody, I shouldn't assume, but this is someone that's already been in the system that was working at Clear Pond. This Doug, what was Doug's last, Barry?
It is Doug Berry. Yeah, he was the director of Cook Pond.
Yeah. Is he not already Corey checked?
I'm sure he is.
So,
Okay.
What I was talking about, Paul, is if the football players, whoever he has working for him, are going to be around kids and instructing kids, we'd have to know who they are to get them Corey checked. That's all.
Okay, I didn't, did he say how many people are going to be around him doing this program, or is he running it by himself?
It would be based on interest. He said something based on interest. But he also said he'd be responsible for all fees too. So if there's Cory check involved, he'd be responsible for those. And from what I understand, they just have to fill that out, right? They don't have to wait for results to come back. I think once you
Right.
fill it out, if I got that right, I think you're good to go then.
I'm not sure about that, Jesse. I would have to double check with HR. I think if it goes the way the school system does, like I can't go into the school to volunteer until my Cory check comes back.
Okay.
But if we have those who are under 18, nothing will come back.
Sure.
But he's talking football players, I thought Mike said. So those guys, I'm assuming they're over 18.
Yeah.
This is an
It's an
arena
adult
football.
league.
Are they?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe
his
they're
league's an adult league.
young adults.
Ah, okay.
I-
So they're all, the players are under 18, correct? If I've got that correct?
No,
But
that's
he
not.
may have help.
No, it's not.
Okay.
They probably would not be under 18.
Probably not. The group of people that Doug Barry wants to have in this program are over the age of 18. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. What I'm saying is the people that will be working with him probably are going to be over 18. The people that he wants to bring in are kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Do we need to just contact him and confirm that, number one, he's done Cory checks on his staff that's going to help him? Number two, COVID testing has been done and cleared? If he's taken those steps, is there any reason why we wouldn't allow this?
Well, to use the fields, they don't need a COVID test. He just has to go through the social distancing rules from the
Okay,
19 order from the state. But I would think we could just vote on whether or not to authorize him use fields based on the contingency of Cory checks or whatever we feel would be a contingency for that. And it would be on him of recruiting the kids to play. I think he's probably going to have a fee because he's talking about budget and everything like that. So pretty much nothing's required of the commissioners other than to just, do we want to authorize them field use? And right now, I think we have available field.
I think we have a responsibility to find out if Doug has Cory checks. I think that's a simple question.
Yep.
Does he
Yep.
have Cory checks? If the answer is yes, then, and it's cleared, I think the rest is
Yeah.
pretty
Or a
straightforward.
contingency upon everybody being there, being Cory check. Because they probably
Right.
don't have it at this moment.
Yeah.
We have to get it.
But can we make a phone call or a letter to that
Yeah.
effect so that he says, he confirms that he's had Cory checks on his staff? Once you get that, are we all set? Would it
Well,
be
let's let
okay for
everybody
this?
have something to say. Joe, what did you have to say about this?
Well, I think I said, I think it's a great plan. I think we need a little more of a detailed plan from Doug. What we can tell him, hey, Doug, we want to move forward. Good idea. Just lay out what your plan is. You plan on having football players from across the state here. What do they plan on doing? We got to be responsibility to the parents that they're going to drop their kids off too, to know, hey, I'm going to have 10 guys, football players, Cory checked, whatever. They're going to do this. They're going to have, these are the guidelines we expect for the COVID, because they need a plan for that. So I think we just need a little plan from Doug. I'm sure he has it. And we have to spell out what we want from him so we can move forward. but I think we need at least that plan from Doug. I don't think this is enough of a plan yet. It's a good idea. I think let's nail him down to a plan, what he thinks he's gonna have. So when parents ask us, we can say, yeah, we're on board. We know what he wants. Right now, I can't tell any parent, yeah, this is what Doug's gonna do. That's all I'd say.
And we could find out something like, is this plan just for, say, July 24th through August 24th, or is it just,
Right.
the whole summer? Find out that too. We have 2 weeks before there's another meeting, so you'd have that much time before we'd even vote on it, and he could get rolling if we were to approve it right then.
Okay, well, my 2 cents would be, same as Joe, is find out what the details are, and also find out what he was planning on charging for fees. I wasn't aware from the short conversation that we had before that they were talking about charging fees, but I'll be glad to give him a holler and or meet with him and see what he has a little more detail, and we can bring it back up in our next meeting. And if that works for you guys, unless somebody else wants to contact him, that's fine too.
I have a question. This is
Go
Paula.
ahead.
Doesn't this fellow want to start this program now and not the middle of July, the end of July? We're talking about July 24th. Did I just hear that?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I put out that date as a hypothetical. I was just saying,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Because I was going to say, if it waits for a yes or no on our next meeting, maybe his plan was to start right away. And I don't know.
I don't think he could with the COVID. We don't have, this is like contact. You gotta be, you have to be careful on the guidelines too. So he might not be able to start until phase 3, if that might be in 2 weeks, whatever. So we have to see what it entails in the plan too.
I didn't get the impression it was contact, though. I thought it was sounding more like drills, but because he said distancing.
Yeah, I know. But you know how it is. Volleyball's a contact sport, so whatever, you just gotta be careful. So I think the plan, him waiting 2 weeks, I don't think is a big deal, but we need to do our due diligence, I think, to get all the details. So we're comfortable for the parents of Lakeville.
And this was just presented on Friday too, so it's just brand new.
Okay, then I'll reach out to him tomorrow and get some more details. And I don't think he could possibly get it up and running before 2 weeks anyway. He hasn't even advertised it to anyone, so I think it'd be okay to put it off until our next meeting when we have some more information, more detailed plan.
Mike, in the meantime, should I send him just in preparation? He's going to need the attestation.
Yep.
And that COVID plan,
Yep.
And we're going to need his insurance. And do we want to do up a contract, but with the fee being a little,
No, I
or
think
wait?
he should go through the same,
Okay.
process that everybody else does, especially if he's going to be charging a fee. So yeah, send him everything, and we can
Okay.
talk about it,
Great.
and then I'll gather as much information that I can, and hopefully we can get him to come to our next meeting, and at that point we can vote on it, if that works for everyone.
Works for me.
Works for me.
Yep.
Okay. We good for that? Okay. Any other new business for the commission? Nothing? Okay. We have no meeting minutes, correct, Nellie?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so next item is Loon Pond Lodge, Southeast Management updates. Lodge repairs. We did get a call from Ted Delaraco after the elections saying that he noticed a spot in the Cassidy Warburton room that appeared to have some termite damage. There was some, pardon? There was some sawdust on the floor. We've been in contact with Nate Darling, who is the buildings commissioner, and he has a contract for pest control for all of the town buildings, and they're gonna take care of that. They're gonna take see whatever the problem is, take care of it, and then put us on a quarterly or whatever they do monitoring thing. So that should take care of that, and that's all part of the building commissioner's purview. On here, well, that's in the next item. Let's see. As far as the opening goes, Nikki called me this week to ask if we had heard anything from town regarding August. As of right now, the town has shut down any large gatherings through July. And I called Maureen, and she said that tomorrow, I think it's not tomorrow, Monday. When is the next phase supposed to go through? He's supposed to speak on it. Was it this week? I beg pardon?
That was like the 6th, July 6th, but maybe I'm wrong.
Is it? Okay. So
Didn't
they
it
were
get
waiting
pushed
for
back?
that. Huh?
Didn't it get pushed back 2 weeks?
Yeah, now that I think of it, it was actually this past Monday it was supposed to be. And it got pushed back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do believe so.
So she said as soon as they hear something from the state, they will figure out what they're going to do there. All right. I got a text here from Maureen. It says, please bring up the events management contract and ask for input from your group to make easier to enforce and a more solid reporting procedure. We will be talking about the contract in our July 6th Board of Selectmen meeting. Paul, I'm not sure if you would be aware of this, but we talked a little bit about Southeast Management. They're the management folks that run all the functions at the lodge.
Yes.
And their contract is coming due in November, and it's going to need to go back out to bid or renew whatever the town wants to do.
Did you say November? November?
Yeah, but they want to work on it obviously before that happens. I've already volunteered to be part of that input. I don't know if anybody else on the board wanted to as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind it either, but it's up to you.
No, that's fine. The more the merrier. And Paula, SEM. Paula, because we oversee them on a daily, weekly basis, it was important that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm listening.
Oh, I'm getting some sort of, it sounds like somebody's talking, so I'm getting a feedback here. We oversee them, so it's important for us to have input in the contract. So it's, they'll be handling the legal end of it from the Board of Selectmen, but we know what needs to be done, function to function. And also, we know what's worked and what hasn't worked over the last 3 years. So I think it's important for us to be involved in that.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll also be involved in that, right, Mike?
Yeah, I had told them already that I wanted to be involved in it. Yeah. So.
I think this is a good experience for me.
Yep. Great. That was all I had for Loon Pond Lodge. Next item up is Ted Williams updates. First item in here, it says mowing equipment issues. I put that in there only because our Kubota Z-Track is down again, and we're now mowing that whole facility with that old John Deere Z-Track. When I talk to Z-Track, Paula, I'm sorry, it's a lawnmower. It's a
Okay,
it's a commercial lawnmower. We
Mhm.
generally have two of them. We only have one. When Selectman LaCamera was looking at our agenda, he reached out to Franklin to remind Franklin that the town still has in their plans to buy two brand new, bigger Z-Tracks for the highway department, which would be great. But that is not going to happen until the fall. So I spoke to Mr. LaCamera, and he suggested we would try to limp along and fix what we have to get through this year until they can buy new ones. So I don't know what everybody feels about that, but we don't have a lot in our budget to buy anything anyway, so.
do we have a choice?
I suppose we could go down, try to find something used and get through the summer. The Kubota, the parts to fix it are in. And this is the second time we've had to fix it already this year, but I think it makes sense if we have two brand new ones coming to try to just get through what we're doing. We have a long history of Band-Aids and elastics keeping things. We're very good
Okay.
at that. Duct tape
All right.
is a wonderful thing. So, everybody agree with that? Everybody have any strong opinion on whether we should try to pick up something new or?
I'd say let's limp along here. We don't have the money for that. Plus, we're not taking it over. Highway department's taking it over anyway. So if we have to, we can
Yeah.
hand the notes.
Right. So, okay. So that's what we'll
For
do.
the summer.
Yep. We'll have to. Well, maybe we should go out and rent some of those goats that people use to landscaping goats. Yeah. Okay.
I saw it on Lakeville versus Lakeville. Somebody was looking for goats.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a true thing. Yeah. Okay. The only other thing I have is I have spoken to Nellie. The check was for the balance that we owe for the new fields through Northeast Hydro Seed. It was $1,600. It wasn't in the original bid. Was approved at town meeting, and there should be a check this week. I've asked to collect the check myself because we still have some issues over there, and I want to make sure that we are in agreement with the contractor that everything is taken care of before we sign off on that. I have a meeting with him tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. down at the new fields. Nothing big.
Mike,
There's just,
who is that? I'm sorry, I missed it. Who is? Do they owe us or we owe them?
We owe them. Remember the big fields, the big new fields that we just built?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so this was the contractor that did those fields and seeded them and put in the irrigation system.
I see.
And it's just just finishing up. He went over our budget by $1,600, which was approved way back then. But
Okay.
we had to, with the town procedures, we had to wait until there was a town meeting to approve those funds to pay. And like I said, there are issues over there. There are a couple of valves that are missing covers, and some of the one of the covers that was on there got hit by a lawnmower already, which means it was up too high. And there are several. I think Scott counted 10 of the heads aren't properly working. Yeah, you were there when we talked about that, right?
Yes.
Paula?
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw it. I saw that.
So I'm meeting with him tomorrow morning at 11 to see if we can work this all out. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I had for Ted Williams Camp.
I got one question, Mike. I think it might come under Ted Williams Camp, maybe not, but I thought it out there anyway. I know last time we spoke about the bathrooms, outside bathrooms. If we're going to have something like a Mr. Berry's thing there, what did we ever decide on that outside bathroom. Can that be a workable one with the, all the COVID restrictions, or what do we decide on that?
Which ones are we talking about? The ones at John Pond Park?
No, the ones out, I'd say right in front of, the lodge, that little building right there's got, 2 bathrooms. Because we got other teams playing. I didn't know, I thought we were gonna have to have a bathroom there for pickleball, tennis, volleyball people, but did we ever open one?
No, as a matter of fact, Scott told the pickleball people if they wanted a bathroom, they needed to bring in a porta potty. I noticed, not volleyball, but the horseshoe people already brought in a porta potty. I thought that was the general plan of the town was that we weren't going to open up any bathrooms, and if people wanted to have bathrooms, they had to pay for their own porta potties. That's what they're doing at John Pond, right?
Yeah. I didn't know if we
That's what I'm
were,
saying.
I just didn't know if we were gonna have that one open or not for whatever, that's all. Thought I'd
No,
bring it up.
because it'd be the same thing. We don't have the staff to be cleaning it 3 or 4 times a day.
All right.
You know. So there are already at least 1 or 2 over there. You know, porta potties.
The thing is, they do clean them every Monday, just so you know. Mr. Cesspool, that's his road on Mondays to clean all the Lakeville ones.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Personally, it doesn't make any sense to me how that would be safer than having regular bathrooms, but whatever. That's that's mandated by the state, so.
Can I interrupt?
Go right ahead.
Are you saying that they clean the porta pots once a week, every Monday?
Yeah.
Yes.
The company itself.
The company itself. Do you find that within good health guidelines? Shouldn't they be? Aren't
I
these
don't.
porta pots used every day?
Yeah, but what we require, once at John Pond, the plan that was put together by the teams using it is they have hand sanitizers available and all that. So, once again, there's really not much, not touching much inside. They committed to using hand sanitizers. You know, when they
Yes,
use bathrooms.
but there's a lot of excrement in that bathroom. That's my concern, and it's a health issue. And any company that comes once a week to clean porta pots that are used every day is not a good practice.
I mean, that's.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I don't know if it is or isn't. It's just that's the way it is. If we want more, maybe we have to pay for more or have people do more. I don't know. There's been no guidelines that I know on how often. I just thought I'd throw it out there. I know they do it every Monday. That's all.
Yeah, if these pickleball, whoever is bringing in the porta pots, right? It's not us. It's the activity that's bringing it in. Is this correct?
Correct.
Well,
Then I think there need to be some understanding that if they're going to bring porta pots in and they're only cleaned once a week, that's not acceptable. That is really unacceptable. I don't know how they've gotten away with it with even the Board of Health or anybody, especially in a time where we have a pandemic going on. And this is from a health standpoint. This is my professional opinion.
Well, I agree, Paula, but this is what the state says that they can do. Makes 0 sense to me. But
The state says they only have to come in once a week to empty porta pots or to clean them, right? Is that what I'm understanding? Because I don't know that regulation. I don't know the regulations, so okay.
there's no guidelines I know from the state on them. All I'm saying is we have them, we use them. The one down John Pond, we paid for it. We reimbursed by the teams using it, but we contracted the company to bring it in. The fee is being paid for by the teams using it. But it's, once again, it is what it is. We don't have any guidelines I know from the town on how often that be cleaned or whatever. I just mentioned that's what it is.
here you are.
Questionable.
Hey,
Okay,
Paula, being that you're a nurse, maybe you, if you don't mind, you could contact the town and find out where they came up,
yeah,
or
yeah,
the state,
I think the
find out where
Board
they
of,
came up.
yeah, I
It
would
makes
think the Board of Health might have some information on that. You think the Board of Health might have
Yeah.
some guidelines? Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that, that's all.
Me too. Yep. Okay, well, moving on.
Mike, before you leave the Ted Williams updates, I know you also have the part-time weekend position listed. What's the story on that? Do we ever hire anybody?
The person that was offered the job declined it, and Scott has now offered it to the second person. And I have not heard anything back.
Hmm.
I'm hoping we hear back soon, because whenever they open up the lodge, we're definitely going to need someone on the weekends.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, anything else for Ted Williams camp? Okay, sports updates. Do we have any updates?
Yes, we do. Just wanted to update that Freetown Lakeville Athletic Association, so Little League, has submitted their check and information. So that should be all set. I don't know. I think Scott was speaking to them.
Yeah, he's taking most of the scheduling duties over.
That's what I thought. So we got that. The other thing I have going on is Thunderbirds coming back. They've already submitted all of their paperwork. They're all set in that aspect. Now they were asking for, because they are only going to do 6 weeks, if they could have a reduced rate like they did last year.
Okay, so can you review what happened there last
Okay,
year?
so for a full season, they had paid a flat fee of $1,500. And then last year, they didn't have enough signups, so they weren't going to play, but then they finally gathered a few, but it was the end of the season. So they're only going to do 6 weeks. At that point, they asked for a reduction, and the commission did approve via motion to cut it in half to $750 for 6 weeks.
Okay, and how many weeks are they looking to play this year?
6 again.
Okay. Well, I have no problem giving that reduction again this year.
Nellie, is it the same amount of people or players and same amount of hours they're going to be using the fields?
Yep, they're doing the same exact thing.
They use 2 courts, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Now, don't forget, from last year to this year, we raised the rates. So do we have to, we went up, 25%? So do we have to go higher?
Well, they were a special case. They were paying a higher rate than any of the AAU teams were.
Yeah.
AAU teams last year were paying like $600, and we raised it up to $900. They were already paying $1,500 because they came to us and we negotiated that with them originally. So they're already paying more than.
Right, but if we use the new schedule, figure out the cost is for a full season based on the new rates, then cut that in half. Is that more than $750?
Well, what would the new rate be?
Well, whatever we did, we raised it up. I don't know exactly who this team is or whatever, or who they are.
It's a private company who runs all over New England. They're big.
Mm-hmm.
They run these beach volleyball. It's almost like I guess it's close to an AAU team. It's like travel teams and stuff. And we're the only place in this part of Massachusetts that has beach volleyball courts. That's how we originally came to their attention. So we never treated them like just a regular AAU club, like, because there's kids coming from everywhere. They're coming from all over Massachusetts. So we always thought it was, they always paid more than a regular AAU. So what are you saying? We do half of what the AAU
Well, I guess my point is, I know it's a special day, but if we get rid of the special, let's try to get them on the same fee schedule as everybody else is paying for, playing. Can we do that?
Well, that would be less money for us.
Mhm.
Well, maybe so then. I mean, maybe it's not fair then if we don't. I don't know. I'm just asking a question. We did raise the rates. All I'm saying is if they pay the same as they did last year, we did raise the rates from last year to this year for everybody. So if we don't raise for them any bit, anything, that's really fair. That's all.
I disagree.
Well, I didn't say do it or not. I'm just asking the question. Why have a special rate? Why do we need it? You got AAU because you got out of towners. We were pretty hard on that when we raised rates about out of towners versus Lakevillians. So all I'm just saying is, what is the schedule we have? Forget about specials. Can we put them in one of those buckets, either AAU or local teams, see what our rates are, and go from there? I don't mind reduced rates if they're going to play only 6 weeks versus 12, no problem. But instead of somebody remembering, oh yeah, we did something special a year or two ago, just to keep it easier to figure out, that's all.
Well, it was longer ago than that. They've been coming for 3 or 4 years now. And I believe actually they submitted that amount. They said that's what they pay in other towns. So I believe they offered, Nellie, help me here. I think that they actually came with that number. Will you take $1,500?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, that's just my memory of it.
But the
We are an enterprise fund.
$1,500.
We're supposed to be running it like a business. I don't know. They're looking to pay $750, and you're proposing they pay $450, right?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I'm not
No.
proposing any number. I don't know the numbers. I'm not just saying is, instead of somebody be trying to remember, we gave them a special rate or whatever. If we just go by the fee schedule we have, it'd be easy.
Okay.
We wouldn't have to remember 3 years ago, but I don't know what that is. I'm just asking the question. No one seems to know the history on this. If we do our fee schedule, it comes out to be 1,000. Okay, then maybe cut it in half to 500 to get a break. I don't know. It's just not consistent with what we're doing. That's all.
Well, maybe Scott, as the scheduler, could negotiate with them and see again what they're paying at other places. I can myself, Joe, I can definitely differentiate in my mind between a company, a regional company that comes in and asks us to rent space versus local AAU clubs that are run by, dads and moms from this area.
All right, then maybe we put it into our fee schedule that in 3 buckets: AAU, locals, and then companies. That's all I'm saying is, so someone doesn't have to remember how we did something. I agree with you, Mike. It could be maybe it's more for the company coming in, but we didn't have that. I didn't see that anywhere in our fee schedule. That's all.
Yeah. Well, all of the AAU teams that are playing, they're all paying the full price, right? They're all paying $900. I know the Giants are, and what about the what is it, Drifters down there at John Pond?
They're paying not more than that. They're paying $1,900.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be $900 per team, right?
Well, we had them pay per head.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, I mean I'd hate to charge them $1,900 and then have a team that's not even local. At least the Drifters is Mass Drifters, and have a private company and say, oh, we're going to reduce your fees to meet our fee schedule. Especially when they came in and offered that amount.
Right. Whatever.
All right. Well, the question before the board right now is whether we should reduce their fees for a half a season like we did last year to $750. So, anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. We reduce the fees that we did last year for half a year, put it 12 weeks down to 6 weeks.
Okay. Second.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Paul, are you still with us?
I'm listening.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
We do a roll call, don't we?
Roll call. Yeah. Joe Kosha.
Yes, I.
Okay. Paula Hool?
Aye.
Okay. Jesse Medford?
Aye.
Okay, and I'm an aye. Okay. What else you got, Nellie?
Sorry,
that
I had to mute. I had to mute. I had to sneeze. Apologize. The next thing is, in speaking of the porta potties that we were talking about, that question did come up with pickleball today. They were wondering if the bathrooms were going to be open for their players, but they understood the COVID restrictions, and I did confirm that we didn't have the cleaning crew to open them up. So the group is looking to get a porta potty put next to the tennis courts. If that's the case, and I know Paul is going to reach out to try to get some more information about how often it should get cleaned. Should I recommend for them to put a lock on it? Kind of like the drifters do, right, Joe?
Well, my thought on that was, let me tell you a little story about that. Because of with the location down John Pond, a lot of times you'll get people going down Vaughn Street who will go in there and use the bathroom. So what I did, I said, well, seeing they're paying for it, I went and put a lock on it for them. It was a combination lock. I gave them a combination. After the second day, they lost the lock. Someone took it off, never put it back on. So I put it up to them. I said, you're paying for it. You might want to lock it up because people try to use it. So that's where it stands. The only question I have with Ted Williams, if you already have a couple bathrooms, someone might complain, hey, someone from Horseshoes came over and used my porta potty, all that stuff. So maybe locks is the way to go. But you got to make sure they're unlocked when they get there to clean them. That's the other thing. And
Right.
I recommend a key because these get lost and all that stuff. So it's tough to keep it locked. That's all.
Okay. So I guess the answer would be yes, Nellie.
Just recommend that they kind of take care of it if they're paying for it, sort of deal.
Yeah. Well, that would, not that it's sanitary, but it'd be more sanitary than if it didn't.
Right.
Are you recommending they lock them or leave them open?
Lock them. Paul.
For the group to lock them.
Okay.
If they don't want anybody else using them. 'Cause, like, again, that goes for more usage.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we know if Horseshoes locks the ones that are there now?
I don't know. There's one there. All right, anything else in sports updates?
Sports wise, no, I think that was it.
I had a question. Sorry about it. But you mentioned pickleball. I know we had an issue last time. Did we ever resolve that with that court, number one, or the one that should be?
I'm personally looking into getting a painting contractor and changing that back over to tennis. So we'll get a price on that, and doing the second one as a combination. The other thing is they've not rented all three courts from us. They're only paying for two. So there are a number of issues that Scott is dealing with. I know he's been over there and talked to him several times, but that is one of them, because on Saturday when they had, they were over there playing, people did come over to play tennis. So at least two different groups of people come to play tennis, and they were able to do it because Saturday the pickleball was light. The other issue is I personally counted at least 25 people over there more than once, and they're paying us for 15. So that has to be addressed as well.
My 2 cents worth, because this is going on way too long with these folks.
Yep.
My opinion is we should just lock those courts, not let them use them until they pay us and the courts get painted, or whatever. I mean, they're not doing what they agreed to, and it's just not right. So I'm just thinking we gotta get them out of there. They shouldn't be playing until they pay the fee right, and then those courts get turned back that they should have done last year. So.
Right. Well, hey, when we reorganize, Joe, I think you should take over as this sports scheduling.
Well, all I'm saying is when they come back for next year, we've had problems. maybe they don't come back next year unless there's more guidelines. Because obviously they
I
didn't do it.
I agree. That's what we said this year, and they went ahead and painted them all again anyway, so,
That's what I'm saying. So,
okay,
you know, we gotta manage this a little bit better going forward.
yeah. As far as like, has volleyball, the Lakeville volleyball people contacted you at all? Because I noticed that there's people playing out there all the time.
Yeah, they've provided everything that they're supposed to.
Okay, they're practicing. But I didn't know if that was just a group of kids, because I see a lot of kids over there a lot, you know, like high school kids, or if it was the actual Lakeville League that pays us.
I'm not sure. Do you remember what day? I can look at their schedule.
No, but no, my only question is, they're all up to date and they are playing as far as you know?
Yes, they're all set.
Okay, that's fine. And Horseshoe seems to be working things out. I noticed they're using all of the courts all the way down, even the public courts, which is fine, because they're doing breaks. They're breaking up the courts, so they're not too close together, which is great.
Another question I have: who was the one who's responsible for taking the basketball rims down? It wasn't us, right?
It was the Board of Health and the Board of Selectmen told us that they didn't want anybody else playing there, and Franklin took them down at their, I don't know who the exact person who told Franklin to do it, but it came from the town.
The reason I ask is we always said volleyball is a contact sport like basketball, but you have the nets up there. We know they use them, so why couldn't we just put the rims back up? Just, you know, if you want to practice, let them. I just think it's kind of, you know, I don't know. I think the rim should be put back up, my opinion.
Hopefully soon. Yeah.
I just think if someone's gonna do something like that in something we control, we should know about it, have input in that.
Yeah. You know what? Scott knows more about that than I do. I don't know exactly how that transpired. I know he was at a department head meeting, and I believe, and this is hearsay, I believe they specifically told him to take the hoops down, but I'm not sure who, and so that's what we did. Let's ask Scott. He was handling that. All right. You want to move on to the Clear Pond Park updates? You got anything,
Yeah.
Jesse?
No, you know, I checked it out the day that it was being mowed, and you know, obviously there's nothing new going on, just a little bit of knocking down the weeds and grass. You know, the beach, it's all starting to get overgrown now too already. Unless we take care of that, it's going to be awful next spring.
I also got Bobby Beach to go down there and with a weed whacker and trimmed up what they couldn't cut with the mower, and it doesn't look that bad down there right now, but you're right, the beach is all getting grown up. What we would normally have done on a regular year is we contract a fellow that comes in with a rototiller, a big rototiller on a tractor, and they rototill the whole beach and then, you know, then rake it out. Maybe we should do that again this year. You want me to see if we can get a price on it, or?
It might be worth doing because, you know, if it just goes the whole year, it could be pretty bad.
I agree.
Can I ask something? Excuse me, Mike.
Go ahead.
Are they opening Clear Pond at all?
No.
Then why don't we just clean it up and forget about rotilling till the spring next year? Why do we need to do it if it's not being used?
Well, as Jesse just said, the grass is growing right up through the beach,
Okay.
I think it would just be a preventative to kind of keep it down. Even if we did it in the
Oh, okay.
fall.
Just,
Mm.
yeah. Yeah, well, I guess that would be pretty tough next spring to try to rotill it if it all gets overgrown, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
we can look into it. Jesse, do you have any ideas of whether we should do something? That's what I was just saying, Paul. I was just saying that was what we normally do in a normal year. Of course, we haven't done it this year. But
Yeah.
I think it would be beneficial to do it this year. It could be more than double the cost next year if we just wait to do it.
Okay.
when was the last time, Jesse, that we brought any fresh sand in down there?
Yeah, I thought it was just before opening last year. I don't know that it was done during the season at all.
Oh, good. Okay.
Jesse, are you planning on putting a sign at the gate that says closed for the season?
No, I don't believe we have a sign there. No.
Should we though? I think it'd be a good idea if we did that, because I saw the last Saturday, I saw a car pulling in there looking around and stuff, so I just didn't know if we should put a sign that says closed for the season.
I agree.
A big one.
I have a question about Clear Pond. I have a reminder here that it's we're supposed to be doing the septic pumping.
Okay.
Has anybody heard if that's been done or anything?
The septic pumping is handled by the building commissioner, Nate, and I'll
Okay.
see. Do we pay for it? Have we paid for it in the past?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't believe we at the camp at Ted Williams. That's we don't that's part of the whole town buildings maintenance thing.
Yeah.
I want to say it was last fall when. Is this something we do annually or more than?
I think
think-
annually, yeah.
Yeah, for Clear Pond, it's annually.
Okay. I want to say it was last fall when I was talking with him about it. It was last done.
Okay. Do you want me to just reach out to see if he has it on his schedule and when?
Yeah, just.
Okay.
Also, maybe we'll see about that dumpster down there. Last time I was down there, it's about half full. Did it get empty?
Yeah. It was 2 weeks ago when I was in there. It was still half full.
Why don't we just take it out of there? Why is it there?
Gonna
Don't
paint
they
it.
usually come at the end of the year and take it away?
Yes.
It didn't last year.
Oh, unless they leave the actual bin and only just stop service. Do they not usually do that?
They never have one, as far as I know. Did they leave it there last year, Jesse?
Yeah, it's been there over the winter.
Wow. And we're not paying for. I know we're not paying for it because I haven't seen any bills for it.
Nope.
Huh. Well, if it gets filled up, I don't know how it's getting filled up, but if it gets filled up, we're going to have to pay for it to be emptied.
I think this
Well, that trash has been there the whole off season.
Should we call them and tell them to come get their bin? Their
We'll
dumpster?
have to schedule something, right? Because everything's locked up.
Yep. Someone will have to meet them with a key. But that's not. I mean, we've done that in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm local. Scott's local. Joe, you still working from home?
Yeah, I'm local. I can do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can, if between the three of us, Jesse, you're working far away, right?
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm on a rotating work from home schedule now, off and on.
Yeah. Well, I think there's enough of us around that somebody could meet him down there.
Okay.
Give them a call. I have a sneaky suspicion that they forgot that it's there.
I suppose it's possible. I'll
Yeah.
call them. I'll double check and I'll see when they can be available so we can get it unlocked for them.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else, Jesse?
No, that's it.
Okay. John Pond Park updates. Joe.
No, not much going on. I know Franklin said he was going to get another load of stone dropped. Mike could spread on the driveway. I just didn't know when he was gonna be able to do that, but, that'd be great if he could. The stuff gets washed out a lot, as you know.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm just waiting for the next phase. If phase 3 hits, maybe we'll have blooper ball down there. And maybe, if we get a part-time person, we can have, open up that bathroom unit too. But I can't open that until we have somebody to clean it.
Yeah, and we get guidelines on how to clean it.
Right,
It's
we'll have to
still-
go,
I can't believe that that's not more sanitary than a porta potty, but hey, I did have a question for you, Joe. I was down there on Saturday and I noticed the trash barrels were chock-a-block full. So I talked to Bobby and I asked him to go down there and, with a truck and empty them. Did he get down there?
yeah, I met him down there today. I happened to see he was down there. Thank you very much. Yeah, what was happening, the highway department used to do it. And they stopped, I guess. So if Bobby can do it, maybe weekly, cruise by there, pick it up, or I don't know how we want to handle their trash there. But they do get full of people using it, you know?
I can ask Franklin why they stopped doing it, or, I noticed that there's trash bags in them too. Did you do that?
That's something that Linda did last year. Works out well. Yeah, we liked it. I know, I mean, they're nice to take, pop the bag out, put another bag in it. We got bags in Snack Shack. If Bobby doesn't think that's the right way to go, we won't do it, but that's what we did. Keep them a little cleaner.
Okay, so, if we're gonna have Bobby do that, we should have him know where the bags are.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I can work out something with them. I am looking at Mike on the bunker rake.
Yeah.
I think I might try doing. I was gonna go down this weekend and measure it. That the shed that's there from Freetown Lakeville softball, I might try to put it in there. I'd have to take off the dragger, but that's not a big deal. But at least because the infields need to be the raked part because there's weeds growing through them. You can't just drag them. You have to go, So I'll do it if we get the unit down there. So if you can maybe speak to someone, if they can let me know when they can bring it down there, I'll try to get it in that shed and keep it there, and I can run it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, you would actually ask me to talk to Franklin about bringing one down and he said he would bring it down and use it and bring it back. So they never did that.
They might have dragged it. I don't know if they know about the raking feature on it. You know what I'm saying? It really takes up the and it needs to be done. Hopefully, loosen the weeds because it's starting to grow through on all 3 fields.
All right, well, we'll see if we can get the older one down there.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, I can always meet down there if I can do it myself. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try to keep it in that shed if I can. I think
Okay.
if I take the thing off on the back, I think it should be wide enough to get in there, and then I'll just put it on every time I want to use it.
Okay, and I did speak to him about the stone in the driveway, and he said he would get to it as soon as he could. I mean, they're very, very busy on the road projects right now.
Yeah, I hear you.
So, yeah.
No problem.
And he's short on people too, as you know, just like we are.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Okay.
Other than that, I've got nothing else. Like I said the only teams that are down there right now are the Mass Drifters. I reached out, Nelly, to Jacqueline and Derek. For Eric Goyette is no longer the guy for co-ed blooper ball. It's Derek.
Okay.
Okay, so I sent them the attestation and the control plan guidelines and the contract for down there. I told them I'll let them know when they can go live there, and that's what we'll do.
Okay.
I was hoping. I know I spoke to Nate Dowling a while ago about getting Kevin Thu to try to put the field lights breaker outside the Snack Shack. Maybe he can still do it. I sent a message to Nate a couple of weeks ago. I didn't hear it back yet because then if blooper ball starts, they don't have to go in the Snack Shack to put the lights on and off. If not, they'll have to do it. But I hate to give them the passcode and all that stuff for the Snack Shack. But we have to, we can. All right.
Okay, you know that Tom Robinson, the town carpenter, was down there?
Yeah, I met him down there.
Yeah.
He didn't get back to me. I was hoping, I had a couple things he was going to do. He was going to speak to Kevin. But I know Kevin was out for a while. He had a hip replaced or a knee replaced or something. So,
Okay.
hopefully we'll hear back from those guys.
Well, keep asking.
Yep.
All right, anything else?
Now, that's it.
Any other old business to review? I got nothing. I do have something. The parking lots. They're both done. the drainage part is done on both of them. The soccer parking lot is done. I noticed today though that whatever is draining down into that thing is taking all of the loom with it. So I'm going to talk. We didn't fund that project. That was done by the town. So I'm going to talk to Franklin and see if he wants to call that contractor up and have them redo it. With all that rain we had, it was dry. There was a couple of little small puddles, but the next day it was done. The one at the karate studio is also working there. I noticed today there was a little bit of a puddle around the drain. Like it just hadn't all gone down yet because it was pretty torrential rains, right? Yeah. And it was draining down into the 100-year drain. So they're both looking pretty good, I think. And that one will be paved within the month.
Mike, the one over there by the police station, are they gonna put something around it so that cars don't accidentally drive into it when they're parking?
Well, they put down telephone poles. They lined it with telephone poles all around it.
Okay.
I think at some point they're gonna cut the telephone poles and make it into like a fence type thing.
Right.
The only thing that they got a big sign that says "Do not enter," so it looks like it's telling you not to park there. But what they're telling you is "Do not enter the drainage ditch." They put a bunch of the extra stone in front of that area. I don't know.
Yeah.
They were afraid of people coming in and cutting the corner too close and going down in the ditch. So some sort of permanent fencing is going to have to go up there.
Yeah, that's for four-wheelers only. You know?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay. All right, items from the clerk.
Yes, it is the end of our fiscal year, guys. Yay. So at this point, what I will need is if you guys know of any bills that are going to be upcoming, let me know. I can usually contact the company, ask them how much it's going to be, because I have to put everything in our encumbrances. And they are due July 9th. So I need to collect everything left over in June.
So Nellie, that would be anything that tomorrow is the end of the month, right?
Right.
Tomorrow's the 30th.
Yep.
So that would be anything that that has been done in June and we received a bill for in June. It's not, you can't get bills in on July 6th and encumber them, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We can receive a bill on July 6th, but if the work was done and dated in June.
Okay.
So for like anything at John Pond, or if we were going forward with any work at Clear Pond, I can contact the company, ask them how much it is, put it on the encumbrances, because most likely that bill from June is coming in July.
Yeah. I don't see much. We're kind of on a tight string here, so nobody's really spending any money.
Exactly. So if anything does come up, just let me know, and I can contact the company and get that amount. The rest of the stuff, the usual stuff, the electric and the water and the telephone and everything, I estimate and I average, and I take care of that.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay, great. Any other business from the commission?
I got a question. I know we stopped doing this, but the haunted house cleanup. What's our plans for that one there?
I didn't hear, I'm sorry.
The haunted house cleanup.
It's going to be, it's continuing. John is going to continue he's going to make piles of wood, and Franklin is going to take over. They're going to come down there with a backhoe with the gripper thing, and they're going to pick everything up and bust it up and put it into the dumpsters. So it's on.
Have we gotten into the building yet? I mean, we cut that lock off or put that, I know there's some, someone said there were tools in there that they wanted. Did we ever get those out of there?
Yep. And as a matter of fact, Paula was asking the same question on Saturday. If you guys want to set up a time to bring flashlights, and hats because there's cobwebs and stuff in there. We can go in. We did cut off the lock and we put on one of our own green locks. The ramp going into the front door broke when we were going up to it. So it's kind of a little bit of a dangerous situation in there. Some of the flooring is not good, but I think everybody should get a look and see what's there. I'll be glad to do that. Not this weekend. It's kind of a holiday weekend, but maybe next week sometime.
Yep.
Paul, are you still with us?
I am. I'm just waiting to hear a date to meet you guys at the haunted house.
Okay, I'm sorry. You don't come up anywhere, so I can't tell if you're there or not. You're just taking
Can you
everything
hear me?
in. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. So when you decide what day you want to go to the haunted house, I'll try to be there
Paula,
to meet you so I can see.
Yeah. You have email, right?
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Do you do text? You have a text
Yes.
on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Text and email. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll send out a couple days and see who's available when. If you're interested, I know Joe's probably interested, and Jesse,
Okay.
and I know Paula was asking about it. So just be careful. It's kind of it's in bad shape. Okay.
It's haunted.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. That's why it's called that.
The
Can I
spirits
ask
don't
you-
want us in there.
Yeah.
Can I ask, who's Frank?
Oh, Frank is Franklin Moniz, and he is the superintendent of streets. Heads up the highway department
Franklin
here.
Money?
What?
Franklin,
Moniz.
what's his last
Moniz.
name?
Yeah, M-O-N-I-Z. Yeah.
And he's head of what?
He's a superintendent of streets, and he's the
Okay.
head of the highway department.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the highway department does all of the mowing for us in all the parks.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks.
so we work very closely with them.
Uh-huh.
And any projects that require equipment that we don't have, we try to get together with him. And well, when I say him, I mean the highway department. He's in charge, so he tells us.
Yeah.
He sends people to help us out.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Were there any other things that you heard us going over today that you had questions about?
Yes, you were talking about something about the town.
The what?
It was about, there was some things about the town. We had to ask the town about some things. And I'm confused as to why we're asking the town for some things. I thought we did our thing independently. And I don't know. And it wasn't the trailer. The camp had the, I don't want to say question termites, but advanced contracts. Okay, yeah, about the gathering. I don't know, was there something about the contract for SCM that the town is involved in at all?
Yes, the town is required, all contracts with outside business like that are signed by they're reviewed by the town council and they're signed by the board of selectmen.
Okay,
But where we have the day-to-day operation of that facility, we want to be involved as much as possible in the detail of.
and is this because the town owns the property, or
Yeah.
is it because if the bid is over $10,000 or something, they have to do something with it? meaning the town, the town has input on anything over $10,000 because it has to go out to bid? Or, I know that you've been talking about the town on a couple things, and I can't figure out how they're involved because I thought we were a different entity or enterprise. And so it gets confusing as to when they're involved and when they're not.
It can be. It
It
can be.
what?
It's confusing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The town owns that building.
Okay.
We are charged with overseeing the rental and everything that goes on there, but they do ultimately own it. And I don't know for sure if we're, as an enterprise fund, if we have the legal right to sign contracts.
Oh, okay.
Can we? Nellie,
And how about,
I don't
How
believe
about-
so.
yeah.
you don't believe what, Nellie?
That the park commission can legally sign like a major contract in that manner. Financially,
Okay.
as an enterprise fund, we are separate from the town, building our own
Right.
revenue, creating our own expenses, and doing the budget in that manner. But we're still tied into the town because
Mhm.
things such as payroll still go through the town. We still have to abide by all town rules, regulations, meetings, open laws, all of that still is run by the
Okay.
town. There is documentation about the enterprise fund that I can get to you, Paula, so you can read through it. It does get a little sticky here and there as to where the town comes in and where we can do our own thing.
Okay. Because you were talking about funds approved by the town, and it had to do with the contractors for 2 new fields and the funds approved by the town. I will meet with the contractors. Okay. I don't know, but I know it came up a couple times, and I'm like, wait a minute, where does our guidelines stop and where does the town's begin? And does that mean we have to get everything has to go through the town? That everything that we do has to go through the town because they own the property and the buildings? So we're just overseeing it, and we don't make any decisions on our own in terms of finances and contracts. Is that how I understand it?
We can't sign contracts, yeah. Paula,
Right.
just to give you an example, the 2 new fields, we did all the work as far as getting the engineering done, putting together the plans, finding contractors, local contractors to bid on it. We put together the process and what we wanted, how we wanted it set up with the park.
Mhm.
Once all that was done, for it to go out to bid, where it was well over $10,000, it was $75,000.
Uh-huh.
It had to go. It goes through the whole procurement. It's called procurement process with the town,
Mhm.
and they actually send out the bid requests, and it goes back to the town. They contacted us. We had some input on who we felt would be a better contractor. They actually listened to, they did do that. We used a local guy for both of them.
Mhm.
But then it's ultimately the bill is paid by the town from our retained earnings.
Oh,
Is that, is that
yeah.
any
They
clearer?
take our money and pay. They take our money and pay the bill, and they make us because it's over 10,000, right? We have to send it out to
Well,
bid.
there are
Right.
certain limits. Under $10,000 is best business practices. which means if we wanted to, if we had if we needed a new a lawnmower and it was $5,000, we would not have to go to the town to go through the whole procurement process for that. We would, doing our own due diligence, we would, get several bids on it and do our research on what we wanted. But something like that, we could go ahead and purchase. I
And
think
it comes out of our funds, and the town has nothing, we don't have to go to the town for any money.
well, no, it still gets paid for by the town, but it would come out of our retained earnings because we until this year we've always had a not always, but in the last several years we've always since the function facility has been up and running, we've always had the money, but that comes out of our budget. We budget that, so much each year for equipment, so much for supplies, so much in the object of our game as a enterprise fund is to balance that budget, to have whatever we take in cover whatever, for revenues, cover any of the expenses that we have. So if we have a $200,000 expenditures budget, we try to bring in at least $200,000 of revenue. That makes sense to you? But all of the money, none of us write checks. All of the money comes through the regular town, financial office.
Okay, so the town pays the bills, and they take it out of
Correct.
our budget. Well, okay. I see
Out of our
what-
budget, correct.
I see what,
Yeah.
All right. Now, that's clear. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Yes, thank you about a lot.
No problem. Okay, anything else? Okay, we want to set the next meeting?
Sure.
2 weeks from today would be the 13th, Monday the 13th. That work for everybody?
Works for me.
Okay. Let me
Work
just
for
look
you?
at my calendar.
Paul, does that work for you?
Just checking and making sure that,
Can that be in person, Mike? Or we still,
Hey, good question, Joe. Let's hope it's in person.
yeah, I was wondering if we're going to go back to regular meetings with phase 3.
Well, if we can social distance, I don't see why not.
Hey, my
We're not-
social distancing at that last meeting was fantastic.
It was great. We set up the tables, one person per table. We were
Yep.
well outside of 6 feet apart from each other.
And there weren't more than 10 people gathered, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Not more than, there's only 6 of us total anyway.
Okay. Now, if you do meet, say if we do meet in 2 weeks, where do you meet?
You saw the function hall, right?
At Ted
The
Williams?
Lodge, Loon Pond Lodge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we usually meet in the lounge area, which is the splendid Splinter Lounge there.
Are you talking about the bar?
The bar. That's it.
Splendid Splinter Lounge.
The lounge. We don't drink.
Well, wait a minute.
Not open. There's
I-
no booze.
But it's that bar, Ted
Yes.
Williams Bar, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. We generally set up tables. In the past, we've set them up in like a U shape, and anybody that comes to speak to us can sit right, close to us. Obviously, times have changed, and now we have to social distance.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of room there to social distance.
Yep.
That place is big. And do you usually meet like at the same time, around 6:30, or does that change?
That we try to get everybody's input. Does that work for you?
That's fine for me.
6:30, okay. 6:30, good for everybody else?
We've been doing 6:30 on every other Monday. It's probably a good 6 months now, maybe since.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah,
I'm sure Nellie will let us know the details of where we can meet. And if we're free to, I'll get to see everybody's face, and that'll be nice.
Yeah, I think,
Well, I don't know. I think it'll be nice, won't it?
yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Paul, I'm pretty sure that you can call the town hall and they will help you with all this, with the, the Zoom and the getting a connection and all that. I know
Yeah.
many people
Yeah,
use the phone. It works.
Well, I used it, like I said, Zoom for the library, and I didn't have a problem. But I couldn't get into ours today, and I don't know why, but I don't know what's different.
I'm sure if you call town hall, you talk to the ladies down there, the Tracy or Maureen, and they would be able to point you in the right direction for someone to help you out.
Yeah, I'm sure that I can figure this out by the next meeting, and maybe by the next meeting we'll all be sitting together
Hopefully.
with face masks on. Okay.
Of course. Goes without saying.
Yeah. I'll bring my Bruin.
Right?
I'm going to bring my Bruins face mask.
Okay. All right. Anything
All right.
else? We have a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion. Yes.
Okay. Second, Joe. Okay. All in favor, Jesse,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Paula.
Aye.
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 Aye. Nellie. Aye.
I count? Yes.
Of course you count. Okay.
When do I meet Nellie?
Oh, we can figure out a chance to meet up.
Where do you usually, are you usually in town hall, Nellie?
I used to be. I don't have a desk in town hall anymore.
Oh,
But I will be over at the Ted Williams Camp office on Wednesday from 10:30 to 11:30 if you're available.
10:30 to 11:30. On Wednesday, no. Maybe I might make it by 11:30. I have a hairdresser's appointment, but if I
That's
can
important.
remember to, very important.
I know.
All right, but that's usually where you're at is
Yeah, now I'm moving into the Ted Williams Camp office. But I don't stay there very long. Now with the hot weather, it's super hot, and the guys don't give me an air conditioner. So.
Frivolous, spend it. Frivolous.
All right. We'll go down to Ocean State Job Lot. Get your
Listen, I have a little portable one, but you have to keep filling up the water, Nellie. I can
Oh,
just
no.
kind of, what?
I don't think the water's working in the office either.
Oh.
Okay, so we're adjourned, right? I'm going to take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Okay. Good night.